you very much, dear viewers of Omwando Enoch TV. Omwando Enoch TV, your home of entertainment, education, and information on matters disability. This is where you get every information, every education, and whatever you want to learn on matters disability. Do us that favor of subscribing, sharing, commenting, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, whichever comes first, dear viewers, so that we can move together as a family. Today, dear viewers, once more we are back to have a serious topic on matters disability, and as usual, your presenter is none other than Brother Power, and today my guest is none other than the director himself of Omwando Enoch TV, who is going to be part of the discussion that we started last week. Before we continue, let him say hi to you viewers.
Hey guys, welcome back to our... I know some of you don't hear when I'm saying hey hi guys, then you don't conclude that it's me. Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This channel, of course, as Wilberforce said, that is where to get information on matters disability. You get entertained, and just stay around. If you have not subscribed, I want to ask you humbly, just subscribe. You know, watch this video to the end. You know, when you watch maybe for the first 5 minutes Wilberforce, then you don't get the content. Unless you watch the whole video. That's the time that you'll get the content that we are discussing. So watch the video to the end. Not only 5 minutes, the first 5 minutes, and then you stop watching. Watch the video to the end so that you can learn. You can learn a lot. Kama vile Wilberforce amesema, today we have a lot to discuss. I was not here last week, and I saw some comments, and I was like, we need to take this discussion to the higher. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Today, as I've told you, he has forgotten that he is the director of Omwando Enoch TV, and today, director, I want us to do things differently.
And I've donated. Now today is Wilberforce, the hosts of the channel, not me. But yes, it's a discussion that we're having, just a discussion.
Wewe ni mkubwa, wewe ni mkubwa. So mimi ni mwajiriwa, mimi ni mtu wa mkono. I'm only a presenter in this channel. Mdosi ni yeye, so mshahara sina mnaelewa wadau, mshahara. Okay. I want us to do things differently. I want to I like storytelling. I want to steal 1 minute and do a story that will motivate us, that will motivate our viewer to live beyond their challenges. Dear viewers, I want you to focus on Onyoki the donkey. Onyoki the donkey. Onyoki the donkey is a donkey that was reared by some farmer in some village. This donkey was really helpful to this farmer. One day, as the donkey lived, it was growing old day by day. Maybe due to the hard work, due to limited food or feed for that matter. And so the donkey grew older and older. Before the donkey was too old, Mzee, the owner of the donkey, would use him for carrying luggage. Could be from markets, could be water, could be, people harvesting and stuff. One day, as they were moving along the way and the donkey grazing, it fell into some ditch, some serious ditch, a very deep one. Luckily enough, Onyoki the donkey fell into the ditch but did not die, neither was he badly injured. So he was standing in the pit rather in the ditch. Mzee screamed for help. People tried to come, but now there was no formula to pull out the donkey from the pit. The pit was so narrow, only fit for the donkey to stay in there. So there's nowhere someone would have gone in, even to tie the donkey with the ropes so that it could be pulled up. After Mzee scratching his head and feeling pity for his beloved Onyoki the donkey, he said, enough is enough. I can't rescue you, my dear Onyoki the donkey. Let you just die. And he decided to bury the donkey alive. So he requested for help, people to put soil into the pit so as to bury the donkey. As the donkey felt soil falling on his back and head and everywhere, within a minute, he thought, I'm going to rescue myself from this agony, this challenge. So what the donkey was doing, as they threw in the soil, he would shake the soil, and the soil falls into the pit. Then he steps on it. He kept doing this. As they threw the soil, he shook, stepped on it. Threw the soil, he shook, stepped on it. Until finally, as the soil level increased in the hole or the pit of the ditch, so did the donkey come up. Funnily enough, Mzee was surprised to find his donkey jumping out of the pit. These are stories I learned from my late grandfather. Where do you get this? Omwando Enoch TV. In your challenges, step on them, come out. Director.
Yes.
Up on your tuko. Today.
I hope I'm not the Onyong the donkey. I'm not the
Onyoki the donkey. Today, we have a topic. Just last week, we had a very healthy discussion here with our guest. Then I was hosting one Vincent Otieno, with whom we discussed marriage for our ladies with disabilities. And it has really sparkled serious reactions, serious feedbacks. And by the way, our viewers, we really loved your feedbacks. And today,
nice.
we decided we want to go to the side. We want to talk about our men with disabilities and the challenges they go through in their marriages. Bwana Director, before I invite you to this discussion, it's good to recap that we realize that most of our ladies end up in sacrificial relationships. Our ladies, most of them are living without getting married. They don't even have children and stuff. Maybe because of the challenges that are outside here. And maybe because maybe they're not being married by ourselves, we persons with disability and stuff. Today, because of the reactions here and there, ladies, we told you here, we are a very open channel and we'll discuss whatever we feel suits you. Today, Director, I want us to discuss the men with disabilities, yes, and the challenges they go through in their marriages. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. And again, on top of what you just said, concerning the discussion we had, or the whatever you had with our Otieno last week, one thing which came out is that people opened their heart. People opened their heart and they spoke what was in their heart. And as we promised, when people was asking the questions, we promised that we are going to give them the right of reply.
Yes. So
we shall bring our guest, who is a lady, and he will tell us what she thinks, or she will tell us what she thinks of the discussion that we had with our guest last week, Vincent Otieno, because of course that was his honest opinion on what on the discussion that you had, you people, last week. So we shall give you a right to reply, and we are looking for our ladies who are going to come to the channel and tell us whatever we have discussed, prove it wrong or approve it. So going back to today's discussion, I don't know what you have asked.
I've said today we want to tackle men with disabilities and their challenges
in marriages. Yes. And of course, I will start this discussion with this. Whether you are a man with a disability or a man without a disability, yes, when it comes to marriage, you both have challenges.
Yes.
And there are challenges which are similar for a person with a disability and the person without disability. So whether you have a disability or not, there are challenges which are similar. I want to start our discussion that way. That challenges are there. As a man, you will face a challenge as a man with disability, as a man without a disability. And yes.
So basically, first of all, what we need to agree here is, first of all, we are men.
Yes, we are men.
Before we talk of disability, we are talking about
men.
Challenges in marriage. Then we can now narrow it down to men with disabilities and the challenges that maybe specifically they face, as we shall see throughout this program.
Do you know why I said that we start with that? You know, a man with the disability outside there might be facing certain challenges, thinking that he is facing these challenges because he's a person with disabilities. Or else, whereas these challenges are the same person who without a disability, a man without a disability who has married, is facing the same challenge. But a person with disability will think that, I'm facing this because I have a disability. Like maybe you are a person with disabilities and maybe you are walking outside there, then a car comes and splash water on you. You will think that this person did this because I'm a person with disabilities. Or and like, you know, this is something which happens to everyone. Whether you are a person with disability or not, unaweza mwagiwa maji, gari inaweza kurushia maji.
I think, Director,
it's
also important to mention, okay, when talk about marriage, let me talk about the common challenges that we all face, first of all, as men, as women, whether with disability or not. Let's talk about, for instance, infidelity, for instance, or mistrust in marriages. Dear viewers, don't imagine that maybe if you're married and your wife is misbehaving or your husband is misbehaving, it's because you're a person with disability. Infidelity are cases we see
two-way traffic
everywhere.
It's all around. Whether you have a disability or not, kama ni mambo na mpango ya kando. Kwanza hao wenye wanaona ndio wanateseka zaidi kwa sababu wako na mipango mengi ya kando. So don't think that because you are a person with disabilities, your wife is seeing another man somewhere, she is seeing that man because you are a person with disability. No, it is not that way. This person, kama ni mtu anatafuta mpango wa kando, if somebody looks for tunaoita nini in English au mipango ya kando, I don't know, side chick actually. So if somebody is looking for a side chick, or she's looking for a side chick and she's your wife, she's not doing that. It is not because you are a person with disabilities. That's the notion that I want our people with disabilities to remove, that notion that these things, it happens the other way around. It happens for a person with disability and it happens for a person without a disability. If it is unfaithfulness, it happens the same. Unaelewa? But there are those challenges that faces persons with disability, men with disabilities themselves. Maybe they could avoid those challenges if they were not persons with disabilities. Those are the things that maybe I want us to discuss now. But it's good to start with that way that we started, so that people will understand outside here that the challenges are faced without disability and those with disabilities are the same.
In fact, one Director, what you're opening my eyes to is that could be even these challenges are the same. Maybe where the difference is now the style.
Exactly.
Is the way they are, the approach to these challenges. For instance, allow me to say this, that maybe I think once in a while we've heard stories of infidelity where a woman or a wife of a person with a disability, and in this case is a visually impaired man, decided to play infidelity and bring it as close as inside their own house, assuming the man will not know. You saw it is the normal thing that every other man is going through, but now it is being done. This is now where it touches on disability, because the imagination is that my husband will not know I have somebody in the house. I'll tell you that story as we continue in the show. Now, Director, remember, dear viewers, this is Omwando Enoch TV, your home of entertainment, education, and information on matters disability. And remember, here today we have Director as a guest, and he is going to give his personal, opinion, not on behalf of Omwando Enoch TV, but now as Omwando Enoch, the person with disability, an expert in matters disability. Now, last week, Director, after the show, there was our channel was really heated with the comments and several views. I saw the comments here and there. One thing that came up is that men with disabilities end up, this is the feeling that was coming from our ladies, which we are disputing now as a channel, that men, we refuse to marry them. Let me just say, we refuse to marry them, and then when we get into trouble, we want to do what? We want to rather go back to them. Like they are a second option, they are our last resort, when we have been pushed by life. How, just help us to discuss that aspect.
Me, I'll ask you this question to answer that question. At some point, everyone who is a teenager,
Yes.
whether you have a disability or not, you were dating as a teenager.
Yes.
When you felt that you've become a man, adolescent stage, when you are in high school, because I believe there are people with disabilities who develop the disability after they are finished school.
Of course.
So, and maybe they are listening to us.
Yes.
At some point, you are dating somewhere.
Yes.
Is it that you left that person after that ulimwacha kwa sababu huyo mtu alikuwa mlemavu ama hakuwa mlemavu? I believe you left that person, maybe you realize that you people are not compatible. So me, I'll put this way, that marriage is of two people. Hao watu wanaelewana. And in marriage, maybe as Wilberforce, there is something that you are looking in marriage.
Yes.
You have your own preferences.
Yes.
You have your own tests in marriage. The move now, that notion of person with disabilities, let us not look at the disability first now. Let us look at as a wife or as a husband.
Yes.
There are those requirements you need in a wife, that your wife maybe you want to marry to be. Of course, you will not get them. Others will get them. You'll shape that woman or that man to be what you want. But at least you should get 70% of what you wanted. Are you seeing the point?
Yeah.
Whether this person has a disability or not. Because my test, maybe you wanted a tall lady, for example, if it is physical, a black lady, or a brown lady as a man, a fat. Unajua kuna watu hawapendi watu fat na kuna wengine wanapenda watu wanono. So mwenye akona larger, I don't know, the sitting allowances and all that stuff. Mwenye akona
flat screen.
Kuna wengine hawapendi wenye akona big boobs. There are those ones who love those ones with big boobs. Unaelewa? Those are preferences of each and every person. Before you look at, because I want us to remove the notion of this is a person with disability or not. At some point, you realize that maybe enyewe at your teenager, unajua ukiwa teenager uko na damu mingi, so unataka huyu ndio nimependa. You know, Wilberforce, hata ukienda kwa shamba kutafuta miwa, si ndio? So you look at the sugar cane and you say this one is okay. Then ukikata ile sugar cane kabla uikate unapa
na ile nyingine
kumbe hii si ndio naona the poor. But you realize all those sugar canes ziko na mdudu. Ziko na mdudu. So what do? You will stop and you say, no, I'm not going to marry. Because everybody has his own problems or her own problems or weaknesses. Yeah. Whether you have a disability or not. So you'll say, what you'll do, utachukua umua, then you remove where it is bad, then you eat the rest in sugar cane. So what I'm saying is that, I'll say that my own opinion is that let our ladies with disability not feel that we left them. Maybe at some point, if I was dating a person with disability and I left that person, let her not feel that I left her because she was a person with disabilities. Okay. Let her know that I left her because watu huwa wanaachwa ama tuliachana. It's normal kuachana. Maybe we were not compatible. At some point we were dating, but we were not compatible. I'm sure men outside here, even the ladies who are married here, ule mwenye alikuoa si ndio ulikuwa na date. Maybe you date even 5, then you came ukasettle in with some kwa mmoja. So ile notion yenye our ladies with disabilities wako nayo ati we did not marry them because we left them because they were people with disability, it's not that way. Maybe even nilidate wa disability na nikadate hao wengine wa general world, as you can call them, nikadate hata watano na wa disability nilidate mmoja. So nikaenda up kuoa mmoja mwenye wa general world. That's what I wanted to maybe I can give a comment that way.
Okay.
So our men with disabilities, we are not against our ladies with disabilities. By the way, they make good wives. That is what I could say. Our ladies with disabilities, where you are, I believe you are the best wives in the world.
Okay.
That's what I know.
Okay.
They can make good wives. But me as Omwando, I also have my own choice to make. Not the choice of marrying a person with disability or not, but a choice of my own taste. Of a wife They make good wives. And these ladies without disability, they also make good
But
wives.
we cannot marry all of them.
We cannot marry all of them. I can only marry one wife.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Now let's go to discuss men in details. It has been said that men with disabilities are more privileged and advantaged compared to the ladies, and that's why maybe it is through research, dear viewers, that we found that ladies with disabilities, a good number, are not married, whereas most men with disabilities are married. Leave alone the discussion of whether their marriages are working or not. The fact is, first of all, they are married. Yeah.
Can I tell you the reason why?
Just before you come in,
All right.
there is an ideology that is circulating in public that maybe as a man with a disability, your chances of not getting married are very low because, one, if you are employed, it's easy to convince any other lady because at the end of the day, even if you are disabled, you have money, you have something for them. They're assured of an income. Two, like where I come from in the highlands of Kenya, a lady will be convinced by the resources that this man has, that's in terms of maybe shamba or something, so they can easily get married. Thirdly, there's an argument also that a lady, whether in the general world or with a disability, anaweza pata watoto hata wawili ama watatu outside marriage, out of wedlock, for instance. And such ladies, they can easily get married by men with disabilities, whether educated or not, because what they're looking for is a place to call home for their children. Maybe you can start your discussion from those three aspects of why men with disabilities can easily get married in comparison to our ladies with disabilities.
I will start by saying this way.
Yeah.
Men and women, these are two different genders. Yes. The women work on their own way or their own characters. Yeah. And one character women have is that women are, can I say, empathetic?
Yes.
And women, when it comes to love, they don't look at the maybe disability, or this man has money, or this man is poor. Although that's why you can get a woman married by the houseboy. A woman ending up is a lecturer in a university, yes, but he ends up to be married by a shamba boy. Because alimpenda too. Women just love. So women, the reason why most of the men with the disabilities are married is because women, they don't look at those many things that this is a person with disability. They don't look at that. As long as you are a man who is presentable, you are a man with charm, you can charm a woman. You can cut here and umwingisha box. You are able to convince that woman. Ladies wanakuwa deceived. Haraka. I'm sorry to use that word. Yes,
yeah, viewers, that's not Omwando Enoch. That is, yes, that's Omwando the person. Yes,
and that's how women are made.
Not the TV.
And that is why that's how women are made anyway. Ndio maana hata hivyo alidanganywa. Si alidanganywa hivyo, alidanganywa pale kwa shamba. Na akaona vitu mzuri. Unajua women wanataka vitu vinamelemeta na vitu mzuri. So if I maybe one will was to grow. Si tulikuwa tunaomba trousers na unaenda kukatia mwanamke.
Watakupiga hapo.
So what I'm saying, anyway, that's on a lighter note. What I'm trying to put the point home is that women love genuinely.
Okay.
Unlike men, that is why men marry so many women. Si man wanaweza hata 5 wives. Si ndio? That means a man is not limited to love. Ati sasa nimepea Wilberforce roho yangu yote. Ama nimepatia Nyamoita roho yangu yote. No, I've given the whole of my heart kwa fulani. So and fulani. But a woman loves. A woman akipenda amependa. That is why men with disabilities, hiyo ni point number 1 kwamba the reason why they are married, most of the men with disabilities are married is because women don't look at who you are. That's the first point. Another point is the reason why men with disabilities are married than our women with disabilities. Men are courageous. as persons with disabilities. Hata ukiangalia hapa nje. Today if you want to go to Nairobi, there is a Angeline. And I don't mean Angeline Akai, if you are listening to this. I've just given a name. Want to travel to Nairobi, Wilberforce want to travel to Nairobi. Wilberforce can travel to Nairobi alone. But Angeline might think twice. Atafute hata guide nini and all that. What I'm trying to say, men are very aggressive. And they are daring. They can go out if it kama ni kwenda kukunywa kwa pub. Anaenda. Mwanaume anaenda. Lakini mwanamke ataogopa, ana feel. It's nature ya wanawake ku feel whether ni mwenye akona disability ama hana. Wow, yani ni watu wanataka wana feel insecure unlike men. So mwanaume akitoka hapa nje anapatana na maybe rafiki zake wenye hawana disability, wanaenda kukunywa pale, wanapatana kama mwanamke kingine kama amekuja huko, na unapata anaenda kumwingisha kwa box. So that's another point that I can put, that men are aggressive and they are outgoing, unlike our ladies with disabilities. Our ladies with disabilities majority, hata maybe mtu anaweza kosa kujua hata compound yao vile inakaa. Wamekaa tu pale kwa compound tu.
Hata akienda kwa fan, ile meza alikaa
ndio amekaa.
Ile meza aliingizwa akawekwa na guide wake ndio hiyo. They'll never join in the conversation that is around the table and stuff. Unlike me as a person with disability who will go to Windspark Resort and
utatangamana na hao wengine.
Nikisikia kunengua kiuno, I will stand and nengua without, regardless of who is looking at me, regardless of whether I have the styles of dancing or not. It's a matter of shaking my body.
Yes. Na sasa ukiona sasa this lady will realize, oh, kumbe this man, sometimes these ladies think that the general world, those ladies without disabilities, they think that ataenda kukuosha, ataenda kukuoshea nguo, ataenda kufanyia everything. Unaelewa? But sasa realize, oh, huyu mtu kambara anaweza piga simu, anaweza tembea, anaweza enda mahali, anaweza nengua, you know, this person can dance, can sing, can do everything, Atasema, wenyewe kumbe huyu mtu amenichamu. Hata mtu anafeel tu ana fall in love na wewe tu hata bila kukuambia.
As we go to the challenges now, you remind me one day, I don't know that we were with you. I think by then Omwando Enoch TV was not here yet. I think we started somewhere and we were just interviewing some girls, like, what do you love in some men? Or rather, what do you love? I think it's a question that assisted me, because then I was dating some girl in the general world. And one thing she talked about me is Wilberforce is that sense of security to me.
Yes, courage.
He can stand and defend me when I'm supposed to be defended.
Yes.
Irregardless, It's not about seeing or not. It's about this somebody who can what? Who can defend me. Yes. Enoch Omwando, I remember those days. I'm sorry, dear viewers, some of these things we've done them. The lady who was now attached to Omwando, then Omwando the person, Omwando the director, said she loved Omwando's talent and presentability.
Yes.
In the church specifically.
Exactly.
Sasa mimi wakati naenda huko kwingine, Omwando pia kuna strength yake on this other side. Now Enoch.
Yes.
Now let's go.
The challenges.
We've agreed that the challenges not come because you are disabled. The challenge will come because every other man
faces
goes
the same
through
challenges.
those challenges.
Yes.
Let me give this small story of infidelity of a man who is blind.
Yes.
Visually impaired, so to speak. He has a wife. Then the wife, kumbe, anachezwa na their family friend.
Who is a man now?
Yes, the man, the family friend, is playing it out with our friend's wife.
Yes.
You see, the wife is on the general world. The man is visually impaired.
Yes.
They have a family friend who is from the general world. He comes visiting them. He's so good. Sometimes he guides this man, takes him out, and what have you. He's there for them as a family. The man has given him all the trust in his house. He can come at any time. So one day, it happens, the man has walked in, and because they have a plan with the wife, they signal each other. The wife prepares a cup of tea and is like, baba nani, kunyweni chai na mgeni, ngoja nifike hapa nje na kuja. So she stamps the feet like
somebody who's going
she has
outside.
walked out. Then she tiptoes back slowly and does their fan on the opposite seat where the man is seated. Na leo zile nyumba zetu tumekaa kiti pande hii alafu kiti refu kwa ile side. So this man alikuja kajiplace strategically kwa ile kiti. So bibi ametoka nje amepiga miguuni kama ameenda, and then she tiptoes back and then wamejisahau mapenzi, kila kitu inafanyika hapo kwa kiti, thinking this man, because he doesn't see, so he does not know what is going on. Do you want to hear how the story ended? You know, there's something called instinct. Dear viewers, the general world, wale mna watch huko nje, there's something called instinct.
Yes.
This man was narrating and telling me, Wilberforce, nilisikiza breathing ya huyu jamaa, anajikaza kuniongelesha, lakini
there's something which is going on.
Sauti inatoka ikifinywa kidogo. Bibi yako ameenda. Nikajiuliza, no, something is wrong. And I became curious. In short, the man stood with his white cane. Ile kilio ilikuwa kwa hiyo nyumba.
They didn't know that
they didn't know he was going for them. They didn't know he was going for them. Aliwangonda. In short, aliwangonda. Ni majirani walikuja kusaidia.
So what comes out, Wilberforce, out of that story of yours, is that the first challenge is someone can take advantage easily on a person with visual impairment. Like that one now, you know, somebody tried to take an advantage. And maybe I can say that the woman was foolish the way they did it. Of course, they could have looked for another way, and they could have taken advantage over the person, but God didn't allow that. So what I'm trying to say is that somebody can take, if you are not a man who is outgoing and you have maybe a disability, or let's assume you are visually impaired, because the example that you gave is a person with the visual impairment. If you are not somebody who is outgoing and who doesn't know what he is doing, somebody else can take care of, can take advantage over you. Like that one now is a challenge. Somebody can take advantage over you, because watu wakifinyana mambo bado unaweza kosa kujua. So those are one of the disadvantages,
the first
or one of the challenge is taking advantage
of
over you, of the situation that you are. And those ones do happen a lot. They do happen a lot.
And not only infidelity, even money matters.
Even money matters.
We've had cases of a girlfriend, you know, umemtrust unampatia simu yako, enda withdraw hii pesa, anaenda na forwardia mama yake pesa kidogo, you know, and delete messages, imagining you will not no, yet you are in the same in the same house. I think director is important here now to mention that if these people who behave in such a manner are now the people who entered this marriage because simply they were convinced by other things, not love. Because then my own wife tells me, akitaka kufanya kitu mbaya, anataka kuna small man in her telling her, utajulikana.
Exactly.
You know, one day my wife was narrating a story to me that this kuna jamaa kumkatia in the village. I'm telling her, you know what, after all your husband sasa vile haoni, si naweza kusaidia sana. She tells me deep inside her, she was like, it's okay, my husband does not see, but ni kama amejua hii kitu. And that's how she ended up telling me the story.
You know, they believe that we are prophets.
Dear viewers, this is Omwando Enoch TV, your home of entertainment, education, and information on matters disabilities. And today we are discussing challenges that face men with disabilities.
Another challenge men with disabilities do face. I'm saying this. Of course, it happens even those ones who don't have disability. Is whereby somebody else can be brought, a woman just unaambiwa chukua huyo mtu tu aende kwa mchunge, unatafutiwa bibi, a wife, unaletewa maybe with 2 children. You know, there are people with disabilities who face that, because somebody took an advantage, because huyu mtu hata akona disability tu, hata ana faida yote, anatoa mtu hapo. So that's another challenge. I don't know whether
we're looking. I'm trying to look for the right word for the same, and our viewers can also help us get the right explanation for the same, because it reminds me of you find that you are a man with a disability, you are a man who are visually impaired, and because you're not outgoing, also
you are not aggressive.
There are also men, ladies, hear this. There are also men ambao wanajua mimi ni kipofu, mimi ni mlemavu, so mimi ni either nimepikiwa, you know. Director, if you can remember, we have published a story, I don't know whether we published in this channel or somewhere, where there's this man who believes my mother is my best cook. Imagine. Like, I can only eat what my mother brings me.
Do you remember that the person with disability who went to visit somewhere, who is a man,
Yes.
You remember that man?
Yes.
And unfortunately, God forbid, the wife died,
Yes, the wife finally passed on. I remember it very well, dear viewers.
Because the wife was taking advantage, and she was going outside.
Yes, the wife was taking advantage. And then, huyu mwana pia anachangia. Do you know anachangia kwa sababu he has proved he is not a man.
Yes,
so the challenge
the man refused to go outside the house
he
completely.
Doesn't come out. Dear viewers, listen to this. This is a man who knows nowhere apart from his bedroom and the toilet
and the sitting room. Yes.
And a particular
and sitting
chair.
room when somebody is not there. But
Yes.
if they have guests, he runs out to the bedroom.
Remember, director, I was with you when the wife prepared a meal for us.
Yes.
And this guy literally refused to eat the meal and told us, my mother...
Until the mother brought the meal for him.
My mother will bring
you
me
remember
the
the
meal.
mother was there?
Yes, the mother was
the mother
there.
also changiad.
No, you see, now we shall discuss that. Some of these failures come because of our guardians. The way we were brought up. Director, if I can tell you a bit, my mother was that strict. She thought she was taking care of me. She would tell me, Wilberforce, don't go out. But the tough-headed boy I was, viewers, I was tough-headed, nilikuwa mtoto mbaya.
One day we shall narrate your story, and I know it will take 3 hours, so it will be 4 episodes.
Actually it's several days. Well, I'm the only guy who would walk from Nyamira to Kericho to school. Yeah. So for another day. My mother used to tell me, usitoke. Hapa chini, bua bika. But then, nachunguza, mami ameenda, I'm out. Unagongwa na chai, unadungwa, unafanywa nini. By the time you are coming back, you have, uko na alama everywhere. That is what now, when I grew up, came to be of assistance to me as an individual.
Exactly.
There is this man now who is in the house,
who has just lost his sight.
Then the mother is like, kaa tu hapo utajigonga. Then he gets married to a wife who is also not outgoing. Ameambiwa mchunge. Then why? Mbona si face challenges? Because bibi amekuja kukuchunga means because you cannot not even go out and look for money, she can go out and lower the flag and get money.
Yes, and that's what the wife used to do.
So some challenges,
and brought some diseases to the husband.
Of course. Now those are not even some challenges, dear viewers, that
and
men face.
Self-created.
Thank you. In fact, that's the word I was looking for.
They are self-created.
Now, director.
Yes.
Moving forward. Men also have challenges because of traditions and beliefs.
Yes.
Where a lady you marry will believe, nikishinda mwanaume peke yangu, even my children may end up being with disabilities.
Yes.
These are challenges we are facing, where a woman tells us, enyewe nilitoka nje kidogo because sikutaka kuzaa mlemavu. Unaona,
nizaa hata mtoto mmoja
mwenye hata kuwa nini mlemavu. Are you seeing?
Yes.
I mean, before you talk, I also have this guy you talked about it,
Yes.
Umeletewa watoto who were born out of wedlock. So umeletewa watoto 4 wavulana. And it happened somewhere in Migori County, dear viewers, where a boy, because he's not born of this man, he tells him, after all, when he kipofu, usinisumbue, we kipofu, wacha kunisumbua. So some of the challenges also men go through, they are forced to be in sacrificial relationships.
Yes. By the way, sacrificial marriages.
Yes. Now talk about this.
Sacrificial marriages.
Yes.
Is whereby you are a person with visual impairment. You say, after all, I'm a man with visual impairment and no woman can love me. So, si hata huyu mwenye nimepata wacha tu nichukue. And you have seen the red flags in that woman. You've seen the red flags in that woman. Because me, I believe, Wilberforce, if you get a woman, maybe for example, in an awkward situation, for example, in a bar, you know, those are red flags.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that women who drink are bad.
With all respect to our ladies on the barmaids, because most of you are my friends.
Yes.
Wale wa highway.
But that's first red flag.
Yes.
Of course, somebody else will alikuja na stories zake, but 90%, of course 10% women who work in a bar walikuwa in a certain situation ndio wakajipata pale. Of course you can get a good wife in a pub.
Yes.
But that's a red flag to me. You say, after all hakuna mtu anaweza nipenda. Huyu amenikubali. Ama umekuwa ukisikia huyu mwanamke aliolewa mahali fulani akaloa tena in a certain place akatoka. A certain place akatoka. But now because you are a person with visual impairment or a person with disabilities, you say that me hata maybe there's nobody who will love me with my situation as a person with disability. So you end up to marry this woman regardless you had seen the red flag.
Hata kama atanisumbua ni sawa tu as long as amekubali kuishi na mimi.
Kuishi na mimi.
Amekubali kuishi na
yes.
mimi.
So you end up sacrificing your marriage, your future life, because you thought that your disability will hinder you from marrying a good wife who is presentable, regardless whether she has a disability or
not.
Yes. So that's how I can maybe put that. So the sacrificial love is another challenge. Our men end up having sacrificial loves.
So in essence, dear ladies, you can see sacrificial relationships is all round. It affects our ladies. It also affects our men, because after all, ulienda ukatafutiwa. You know, when it also happens in the general world, where Omwando is staying for so long, is not getting married, so the family sits down and they're looking for women and
looking for a wife for him.
Just get me, hata kama kuna watoto wawili, mtoto wangu amekuwa miaka mingi hajaoa, by this time I should be having grandchildren. So kindly, then what happens is that hata madharau itaingia, because huyu mtu akupendi.
Another challenge, Wilberforce, is that maybe I'm a person with disability and I'm working, Yes. I'm a working class. There's a woman who will come to love me because of what I have, because of my money.
Yes.
So this woman will not come to this marriage because she really loved me, but it's because of what I have. So that is you realize that woman hata atatoka nje sana because ya mpendi. Na you realize this woman don't even love working with you. Hapendi hata kutembea na wewe.
Anakwambia tembea na watoto.
Tembea na watoto.
Toka na mtoto.
Mwenye endanga ama enda na mtoto. Hata hataki hata kukushika hata mkono. So those are another big challenge ambayo men with disability wana face, of which it is vice versa, even those ones without disability. Yes. Even women with disabilities pia wana face that one. It's a challenge. That's why I say that some challenges are general. You realize that if you are a person without disability and you are watching this clip, you realize that a woman you maybe married you because you had money, and you are a man without a disability. So it happens also with rather persons with or men with disabilities. It happens to them, and they intend to come to them because huyu nimempenda tu kwa sababu ya pesa zake zenye ako nazo.
And then another one is also there are those girls, those ladies who get married to men with disabilities, maybe because amemwangalia akaona sura. Yani yako tu ni sura aliona, like mimi yenyewe kitu nilipenda kwake hata kama aoni. Unajua uzuri wa Omwando, hata kama aoni macho yake imefunguka, akikaa na smile vizuri, you know, mimi nikaona tu huyu akiwa baba ya watoto wangu, it will be good. Ni sura alipenda, not knowing if one day this disability itaenda to an extent ibidi hiyo jicho itolewe. Then other things will now begin to crock up. Now, in conclusion, director.
Yes. It's a lot we can discuss.
There's a lot we can discuss. I would want us to go towards conclusion on today's show.
Yes.
Now, way forward. Our girls were beating us the other week. You saw in the comment section, and those in our groups. Hey, waka kwanza pale KSB. Pale KSB, Kevin.
I saw it.
Washira, wakina Linda, wakina nani yule mwingine? Tuwapatie shout out, wakina Kare.
Faith.
Wakina Faith Mawea. Anajanga kirusi mudhi.
Kina Kare,
Milka.
I think
wakina Staga.
One of these days we should have Milk and Faith.
Tunakuja Nairobi.
Watu wanataka wakuja waseme vile wanataka na watuambie kama watu prove wrong anyway.
Tunakuja Nairobi.
Yes. Watuambie kwa nini hawataki anyway.
Now they were saying after our men refused to marry them, or after we refused to marry them, tukienda tukichezwa huku nje, tukifanywa vibaya, sasa tunarudi kwanza. Linda alikuwa anasema tunawaficha kama bangi. Anasema tunarudi kwao, alafu tunawaficha kama nini?
I hope she was speaking out of experience.
Tunawaficha kama bangi, tutaki wajulikane because tumewachukua kama options. What's your view on that?
Me, I'll say that of course that is the bitter truth. I've seen so many men with disabilities, or a good number of men with disabilities who are married, and they have realized to go back. They have decided to go back to our women with disabilities. But what I'll advise you, Linda, that hiyo yenye wanakuja kukuambia ati hata bwana yake nini bibi yake anamsumbua nini and all that, hiyo ni njia moja ya kutafuta mpango wa kando. Hata anatafutanga mpango kando wengine wenye wanaona tu bado.
Okay.
That is just a language that somebody is using. Inaitwa anatafuta sympathy votes.
Okay.
Those are sympathy votes that somebody is looking for. Men, any man, whether a man with disability or a man without disability, lazima atatafuta ka side chick. Wengi majority wanatafutanga side chick. So it is not a regret. It's not a regret. Otherwise amekudanganya. Amekudanganya na huyo mtu kama anataka kweli kukuoa, si divorce hiyo bibi yake basi alafu akwambia sasa nataka kuoa.
Ama kuoa officially kwa wa pili, ijulikane kuna bibi wawili,
lakini batoli utakubali kuwa bibi wa pili because kuna wenye hawapendi kuwa bibi wa pili. Lakini kama anasema ati anateseka, kwa nini unaishi kwa marriage yenye unateseka? So you divorce that person. That's what I can comment.
Okay.
Yes.
General conclusion now, even to our men with disabilities, I would say personally, look for someone who loves you. Look for love. Don't look for sympathy. And ladies, wale wa huko nje general world, there is a man with disability na kukatia. Can you just usimkatae na ukimkataa usimkatae juu ni disability.
Yes.
Umkatae juu jampenda si test yako. Unaona?
Yes.
Na umwambie tu kwa uzuri, hata si tulijaribu. Me I know this lady who sat down with me. Kaniambia Wilberforce, ni vizuri umekuja, only that umekuja late.
Yes,
I'm already committed.
I'm already committed.
That girl, I miss you. Penye uko? Sikuseme jina hapa. I miss you. So Enoch, in brief.
So my conclusion will be that marriage is of two people who love one another. And if you feel that or you see that you are in a marriage, you are a man with disabilities, and that marriage is not working out, you better quit. Okay. You better left the group. Okay. There is another woman outside here for you. Okay. Never be in a sacrificial love. Okay. That's my conclusion.
Okay. Thank you so much, Director, for accepting to be part of our guest today and for the healthy discussions we have had. Kindly always feel free to come down here and be a guest, not necessarily a director. Sometimes just be that person. Stop being the director and be that person. On behalf of everybody who has made this a success, our plea is that kindly do us the favor of subscribing and kindly put on the notification bell so that when we have a new upload, you are the first to watch, and kindly share as widely as possible. On behalf of everybody that we have cooperated with, on behalf of my director, Omwando Enoch, on behalf of my sound and the pictorial engineer, Madam, the one and only youngest lady around, Asnat Nyamoko, I've been your presenter, Brother Power. Bye-bye. Bye.